This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
Yo, what's happening?
YouTube only.
YouTube
You're
only.
You're gonna have people angry at us this week. I feel like when people wake up tomorrow and they go to do their commute to work, and they're like, "Oh, it's Monday," but and that stinks. But there's a new Sweep the Rack that dropped last night. Let me put that on. Listen to Rob and Big Mike. Let's see what's going on. And they're gonna go to their Apple Podcast or their.
It's still on there.
Oh, it's still gonna be on there.
Yeah,
right. I thought you meant YouTube only. Like
no,
okay.
The audio is still.
Right.
We're still running with the audio.
Then we're good. Anybody who has Facebook but doesn't have YouTube figured out at this point, come on, get with it. Sorry.
It's pretty much like the audio. The Spotify, the Apple iTunes, all the audio is staying. It's the video from Facebook to YouTube. I'm done with Facebook. I have reasons that I don't want to get into, but mostly YouTube. I want to funnel the show through YouTube only.
Okay. Sounds good. YouTube only. Get with it, people.
Yeah, it's a more friendly user for the content creators than Facebook. There's a lot of other things too, but mostly some of that. And yeah, if you can't get on YouTube instead of Facebook, then I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you. And real quick, there's a little change too. If you see comments, there's an update to our streaming software where now we can see the comments on the screen here. So we're gonna try that out today and see how that looks. But it's a beta. It's a testing phase. So we'll see what's going on there. But yeah, if you put comments in now, you guys can see the comments on the main page. So we'll see what happens with that.
All right, Rob. League report.
League report. All right, let's go.
Last league report of the sports season. Finished up league 2 weeks ago. We didn't have a show last week, so finished up league 2 weeks ago. As far as the second half, we were, I think, in next to last or second to last at one point. We finished in 12th out of like 22 teams. So not bad. Not the end of the world. Average-wise, I believe I ended right around 190 for the year, which I will take because they were brutally tough in the first half. And it's funny, I basically averaged the same thing for the first half that I did for the second half. Now, part of that could probably be written off to the 1 week where I felt like we were bowling on the house pattern and I shot like 770 or something like that. But yeah, pretty much averaged the same, even though the first half was much harder. Didn't bowl as much in the second half, so that probably has something to do with it too. But had a great time, enjoyed it as always. Love bowling on the sports stuff. As I told everybody previously, our league is being forced to yet again change and adapt based on one bowling alley closing. Oh, and somebody reached out to me and let me know that apparently, the owner of this gym, it's not raising Bolero's rent on the bowling center to increase the size of the gym. He's doing it because he wants to put pickleball courts in. Okay? So pickleball, big right now. Pickleball just took over a whole indoor soccer place that my daughter used to play her winter league at. It was called the Robbinsville Field House. It was this giant bubble right off of 195. People in Jersey are probably familiar with it. And it had 3 three full, almost full size soccer fields in it. Shut it down, bro. Shut it down. Came in pickleball, whole thing. So bowling alley going to pickleball. That's what I hear. But nonetheless, our league is being forced to adapt yet again because of the closing of this center and other leagues coming in. So I think where it ended when we discussed it is that we're going to try and do a format that keeps the league doubles, but has 3 teams bowling on a pair per night. And you would bowl both teams on that night. You would bowl both teams. We would also try to start a little earlier, starting at 7 instead of 7:30, so we can wrap it up a little bit earlier. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Now, as for me, I know the people are going to be very disappointed when they hear this. I mean, I'm going to do my best, people, so please, bear with me here. I don't know if I'm going to be bowling next year or not. And it has nothing to do with my love or not love for bowling or my desire to bowl or anything like that. I want to bowl. It's just that I don't know if my schedule and with my kids' schedules are going to allow me to bowl. So I won't know probably until like August whether I'm actually going to be bowling next year, what I'll be bowling. I know you'll all love this. I may be relegated to bowling in the house leagues next year, possibly, depending on what night I can bowl if I want to bowl. So that's kind of where things stand. We didn't really have a lot of interest to do anything with the sport group over the summer. Seemed like people wanted a break, although the guy who runs the league at this point, he is going to perhaps run like a couple sport tournaments on Wednesdays just to try and get some people out. So I might show up to those. And yeah, that's about it. Again, trying to keep it going, but who knows what's going to happen. Idiot's Delight is taking up too many lanes for us to remain a straight doubles league, so we got to do something different.
Yeah, back on the pickleball. Pickleball is huge out here too, on the West Coast here. There's a lot of. I've played before. I actually have a paddle. I've played twice, and it's something I think I could continue to do because it's a cool way to meet people in a way. There's a lot. They're very organized in the structure of how they do beginners, intermediates. They actually have like a ranking system in a weird way. So like you start at the beginners, obviously, and then you keep working your way up. They have like a point system. So from my understanding, like a 2.0 is the beginner, and then it keeps going kind of up and up and that. And the gym I'm a part of that I work out at, I'm a member it. It's a Lifetime Fitness, and they have like free pickleball, and they have like 3 or 4 courts. Yeah, I see the courts are packed all the time, Mike. Like I never seen an empty court when I've been at the gym. And people going in and out there. And a lot of people take it seriously, I'd imagine, like kind of like bowling, how we take it serious in a way. Pickleball is the same way. There's professional pickleball stuff now going on. You see on TV. So, yeah, it's just kind of interesting that they're turning the bowling alley into pickleball. And the guy who owns the gym is probably thinking they could make more membership for his gym if they install pickleball and get rid of bowling. So it's just, yeah.
Well, he's thinking, I can make more money from using that space for pickleball than I can
from
get rent from the bowling center. Right?
Yeah, which is interesting. So what kind of gym is it? Do you know?
No.
I'd be curious.
I don't think it's a brand.
Oh,
it's a brand. I think it's like a private
gym.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe you should start playing pickleball, Mike.
Hey, I used to be did you know this about me, that I was a really good tennis player?
I didn't. No.
No, you didn't know that?
No.
I was actually like a ranked youth tennis player in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. I was really good at tennis.
I
will whip your ass in tennis. I'm serious. My wife, who's an athlete, okay, she is a legit athlete. She didn't believe me. She was like, "Oh, you're full of it. Yeah, let's go play." I said, "All right, let's go play." She didn't return a single ball over the net. Okay, that's what kind of slaughter it was. All right, like I'm pretty good at tennis. Now, I will say, I cannot move anywhere near as quickly or as agilely as I probably could as a 12-year-old at this time. But yeah, no, I went to all kinds of tennis, like youth tennis clinics in Philly, and played in this like youth tennis league in Philly. And
is it safe to say, like, a similarity between tennis and bowling is the footwork? You really need good footwork in tennis.
Good hand-eye coordination, I would say, in general. You know.
Well, tennis isn't close to pickleball. It's just the idea of it is the same, but in reality, I played tennis once in my life, so I mean, I could be completely off here. The way that the ball is, it's just super heavier, and the paddles, it's not the same any of it, right? And the reason why I know that is because the person who was learning to play with me also played tennis and was just like, this is nothing like tennis. Okay. So, but the idea of it's the same, and it's definitely something that people enjoy because it keeps them active, it keeps them in shape. You get to meet people. Cool.
There's a place by me. You know, we got to get off the pickleball here, but they oh, what happened to Rob? Where did Rob go? What happened, Rob? Oh, geez, I'm on my own. No, but I'm aware of as I was saying with Rob, I'm aware of the pickleball thing. Oh, Rob's back. Now because people want us in our correct positions. But
yeah, I lost. I don't know what happened.
I was saying, I'm aware of this. There's a place by me that has pickleball, and they do like people are drinking beers. They're bringing in coolers while they're playing. It's like a social. It's very much like bowling. It's like a social thing, you know. But okay.
I bowled, Mike.
Oh, you bowled. Rob's back again. He's back again.
No,
your love affair with bowling is so on again, off again, bro. It is.
It's like love-hate.
It's like a soap opera.
So my brother Jeff is in town. He's bowling the senior masters this week.
I saw. Yeah.
He stopped here for a few days to visit. My father lives near me, so he stopped for the weekend. I asked him about a month ago. I was like, "Hey, like, let's get an appointment at B3 to sharpen your game up."
I saw he was there. I saw his post. I was like, "Oh, Jeff's out by Rob."
Yeah. So we made an appointment for an hour and a half there, and I was like, "You know what? Let me bowl. Let me pick up the bowling balls and bowl." So I did. The first thing is my brother Jeff right now, and obviously he's throwing the ball tremendous. I mean, really, like, it's the best I've seen him throw the ball in a really long time. And obviously he's sharp right now from bowling all those tour stops. And his hand is in the right spot. Just really, I mean, he was crushing that. We bowled on the team, the USBC Open Championship team pattern, and they're hard. And I think at one point he must have threw like 8 or 9 in a row on string pins. And here I am, like, haven't thrown a ball in 6 months. I mean, it was a train wreck for me. But I was happy to bowl a little bit. I bowled an hour and a half. More importantly, I woke up this morning. I felt fine. I was no problems with the back, the knees. I still am figuring all that out, waiting on the back specialist to get my MRI results. I've been waiting on that almost about a month. They're just taking their sweet time, which back specialists or neurosurgeons like to do, I guess. So on that end, though, strategy right now is a lot different from the last time I came back and bowled the Agent Ong and bowled that Robert Smith match. I'm easing into this time. I'm not getting all crazy like I did last time, Mike. I went into it too fast. I bowled way too many games for someone who hasn't bowled in a while, too quick, and my body just couldn't take it because of the back that I have, the pretty severe scoliosis curve, whatever. This time around, I'm going to ease back into it, take my time, practice slowly, build some strength up in my core, which I've been doing. I've been really putting a lot of time in the gym, trying to strengthen the back, the core, lose weight, and hopefully I can get into physical therapy soon and just ease my way back into it so that I'm stronger and I can bowl tournaments like the TAT. I think that's the goal of mine. The goal is the TAT. I really want to win that tournament. I've come close before years ago, and it's a tournament that you could win. If you find if you strike gold in the semis and you got a good look and you're throwing it good, you could make a run for 25, 30 grand. And also progressive is pretty big. So I am going to just ease back into it. And the goal is maybe February, Tat. I think that gives me enough time to ease myself back into it. And just going to slowly bowl a few games here and there, and then maybe bowl tournament here and there. But it ain't going to be soon. It'll be maybe a little bit.
Okay. Well, glad to hear that you were pain free after hitting the lanes. I think that's the most important thing there, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was nice to go. So Mike, where do you want to go from here? I want to talk about the CBS deal.
No, I want to talk about the playoff final.
Okay.
We should talk about the playoff final first, because I think even the fact that like you're not leading off with that, there's not a lot of like anticipation to discuss the final. Look at your reaction.
I know.
If you can't see, Rob's like, he's mocking me right now, saying, "Oh, whatever." This was $100,000 event, Rob. This was a $50,000 match. That doesn't get the juices flowing anymore, or what?
Not really. It's sad, bro, because all the shows building up to this show, right? The matches, the TV time that was put into it. I think the environment of the show just kind of took me out of it a little bit. It just was boring. And I don't want to say that because I love watching bowling on TV. But I think what Bet Rivers did in a bad way is they set the standard for live shows and being able to bet on live shows. When you're betting your money on a live show, it's a completely different way to watch bowling. And then all of a sudden, when you have to watch tape shows, it's almost like you want that live betting feeling back. And it's probably a degenerate way to think about it. But in reality, like the tape shows, the just not energy on any of the previous shows. Jesper kind of bores me. I'll be honest with you. He just, with his urethane and just no emotions. And it's tough for me to like get excited about it, I guess. I'm just being honest.
Okay. I mean, it was also over Memorial Day weekend, right? So I don't think that helps any, that you have big holiday weekend going on. It's on 3:00 right in the afternoon of one of the main days where people are doing things. Now I did watch it. We did have the opportunity to bet on it. However, by the time I was ready to actually put a bet in, the odds on Jesper had dropped to the point where I did not feel that there was a betting opportunity. I think Jesper was only plus 145 or 155 when I went to put something in, and EJ was minus over 200. It was something over 200. And yeah, I just didn't see a betting opportunity there. So I laid off and I did not bet because I didn't really have a feel for how the match was going to go all that much either. And I did watch. I did watch live. And I just, as usual, in this current environment, the urethane was working. The urethane was working. The urethane was doing its thing. Urethane was urethaning, and Jesper was taking advantage of that. No question.
Jesper was the good bet, though.
It was. If it was plus 200, plus 190.
In a match like that, though, I think it doesn't matter who's bowling. You take the plus. That's the strategy there.
Against EJ, man, like, your chances of winning, I feel like, are slim.
Well, slim.
If they bowl that best of 5 10 times, how many times does Jesper win?
I think on that shot, Jesper actually beats him more. I think there was just the right side was just not as good as the left.
Well, okay, you're probably right on that pair with that pattern. You throw in a few variables though, and I think it can quickly lean over to EJ's favor there.
I thought it would. I made a tweet and I predicted that EJ was going to come back, and that fell flat. That aged terribly. I thought EJ was going to try to do a good job of like breaking his side down, and with that rev rate and throwing performance, you have a better chance of breaking the lane down the way he wanted to. When Jesper, using urethane from the jump is going to make his lane's left side uglier, I thought was going to happen. That was my prediction. Probably overthought it because exactly what I said didn't happen. Jesper ended up being able to put the hammer down on the game that he beat him. I think he had like the front 5 or 4 or something, and I'm like, man, like here I thought
that game wasn't really close. It was the game before, to me, that was really the deciding game, because that game was close at one point, and EJ caught a couple bad breaks. He caught a couple bad breaks in that game. I think one of them was a solid 9 at one point. And yeah, it just didn't go his way. And once Jesper had him down, there was a strong sense to me that he was going to close it out and close it out quickly.
Let me ask you though on this. This might be a little bit off the point here, but do you think the money they used for this tournament? I'm not sure how much the rest of the prize fund was, but they paid obviously $100,000 for first. Do you think they could have used that money in a better way than how they did it? Meaning, like, maybe try to find a way to pay down more people instead of just stacking it in a way. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about it because it did, according to a lot of fans, not including me, I think this PBA playoffs this year fell flat. I really believe it did. And just the whole tournament, even the finals it didn't have that big tournament feel to it. Something maybe, I don't know if it was the environment or where they were bowling or the crowd. It just didn't have that like feeling. I can't explain it, but I don't know. Like, I'm wondering if hindsight's 2020, they're looking at this tournament and they're looking at whatever the overall tournament, would they have been better off using that money someplace differently?
I don't know. I think I can see both sides on that, to be honest. And I'm not trying to avoid your question there or avoid giving an answer, but in one way I can see that, or I think it's pretty clear that $100,000 doesn't move the needle in any way outside of the bowling community. Right? Even inside the bowling community, I'm not sure that these guys bowling for $100,000. Kevin in the chat says this tournament had no Riz. If you don't know what that means, go look it up. It's the young kids.
Nico, Mike, I know you like this comment. And nothing's ever going to beat the 2019 Portland, Maine. I mean, hard to beat. It was a great. That was a great tournament.
It was, but I definitely think that there was more behind that event, right? Like it was a Final Four. It was 2 shows over 2 days. There was a pre-show involved. They brought some extra people in. I mean, Fox, I feel like, pulled out all the stops for those shows, whereas this, there was definitely the vibe that, these were the last shows on Fox, and this was kind of the PBA's run coming to an end with Fox. But nonetheless, on one side, I can see that it's pretty clear that $100,000 doesn't really move the needle. Okay, no one for us, these guys bowling for $100,000 is cool, and I think that's like a big number because of what we're used to. But outside of the bowling world, that number is not moving the needle in any way, shape, or form. Okay. So that's one takeaway that I have from the PBA playoff experience. The other side of your question is, should they do something different with the money? No, I don't think they should. I like the big money events. As a fan, I want to see these guys bowling for the max dollar amounts that we can possibly have them bowling for. right? And I think bowling will never catch up at this point. I don't think it will anyway. Bowling will never catch up to move the needle because of what the bowlers are bowling for, the amounts of money the bowlers are bowling for. It's so far past us, it's lapped us 20 times. Okay? Bowling world, 100 grand is a big deal. Other sports, 100 grand is like laughed at. It's like pocket change for the people that finish middle of the pack or have middle of the pack contracts, etc. So while I want to see them bowling for the biggest amounts that they can, and that's why I would say no, don't do something different with it. I also know that 100 grand ain't moving the needle in any way. So why not try something different with it, right? So that's why I say, like, I can see it from both sides very easily there. And I don't really know what the answer is there. I don't know. I know people don't want to hear this, but maybe the answer is we got to try and have a $500,000 tournament or $1 million tournament and see if that moves the needle at all. But again, I have to say, I think that you're taking a risk doing that because it's very likely not going to move the needle very much, even if you get $1 million tournament. You know, with the advent of the World Series of Poker, where you have regular household Joes winning millions of dollars, and other not so well known sports that are paying out crazy amounts of money, golf and the money that those guys make to compare it to bowling. Like, yeah, it's definitely a losing battle on that front. But the fan in me likes to see them bowling for a $50,000 match. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think entertainment purposes, if you're gonna hold $1 million tournament, I would want to see not the PBA do it. I would want to see someone like Brad Edelman in the high roller do it. And yeah, Kevin, I'm kind of going in that route too.
Kevin's pointing out that what I just laid out was basically the plot of Kingpin. Here I am, like, ironically laying out an idea in bowling, and it's the plot of Kingpin. I'm sorry.
Well, I was about to actually go down that road, but what I'd like to see happen is, and this is so far-fetched and so out there, but have $1 million tournament and just open it up to everybody. Everybody who could bowl it, stream it, and do like the high roller.
Do you do divisions?
No.
Okay.
Done with the divisions. No divisions.
Okay.
1 game match. No losers bracket.
No rebuys.
No rebuys. No rebuys. $5,000 entry.
The high roller had a rebuy.
Not the original one. Not the original.
Not the original, but they never did. They had a rebuy.
I'm talking like just throw it out to everybody and make a $5,000 or what is the end? Hey, let me ask you, what is it? How much money does it cost to enter the World Series of Poker main event?
10 grand.
Make it 10 grand. And then you know what's going to happen? Nobody's going to show up, Mike. It's going to fall flat on their ass.
Robert Hamilton in the chat. This is a great point. And this speaks to what I was saying too. The last time it was higher than 100K is when Mika won the TOC for 250.
Did that move the needle?
And didn't they have the Motel 6 Roll to Riches, right, which was 250,000 as well? And Bolero had the first Elite League thing was 250,000 as well, I think, right? So I
mean, Bolero did that amateur like league thing, remember? And they paid, but nobody. And that didn't move the needle either for bowling.
I know, and that's my point. Like $250,000 ain't even going to come close to moving the needle. A million might not even move the needle. 10 million. 10 million is okay. I would say if you could get me the backing to run a $10 million first place tournament, I could probably create some buzz around that. I probably could, but that's actually what it was going to take.
And you talk about a miracle that needs to happen.
That's right. Kyle Troop too, 250 grand at the Players Championship. I forgot about that. That's another one. You're right. I totally forgot about that. Good point, Nico. So there's other examples of this, right? And it hasn't changed jack. It hasn't changed anything.
The sponsors weren't lining up, Mike. But
People don't care.
You know why?
$250,000. People don't care about it. They're like,
you know why?
Somebody's bowling for $250,000. Oh, good for them.
Because I've been preaching this for a while. Because people, one, it's bowling. They don't care about any of the pro bowlers. I'm talking casual fans, guys who don't watch bowling. Like my worst of the week is a fantastic one because it shows you how people just don't understand bowling. They kind of think it's a joke in a way, and there's no emotional investment in the players, and that's where you get a lot of the viewers. And it's going to take some type of miracle, I don't know, where all of a sudden bowling catches fire in a way where like kind of poker did in a sense. And it's going to take some kind of miracle where people are going to like want to tune in to see somebody that they saw on TV because I don't know. There's reasons that they have. I don't see it happening in a very
who we need to get. You sent out you had a bunch of responses on Twitter this week for that social media video of the guy talking about, I could beat a pro bowler.
Yeah.
He only shot 250. See, that's who we need to get. You need to run a tournament where it's like bowl one game, whoever bowls the highest score wins $1 million. Then you might get some buzz because you'd get dopes like that who think that they can compete for one game coming out and trying to bowl and win this money in one game, and they have no chance.
Could you imagine?
Have no chance.
Be the highest game pot in the history of bowling.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, bro,
I might bowl that one game and you catch a 279 out of the gate, man.
Right. Catch the best pair in the house, and you got a bunch of slouches on your pair. Who knows? You luck your way to $1 million. I mean, but honestly, I don't even think that would move the needle. Like I said, money, that ship has sailed. Bowling getting to a point where the money's going to get people to pay attention is done. We need to come up with another way to get attention and get eyes on professional bowling because the money is not going to get it done.
It's going to take a show, man.
Are we done with the PBA playoffs here? Have we broken that down enough?
I was done with it.
Congrats to Jesper, man. That's a big win for him, man. $100,000 in this season where EJ dominated so much and there really wasn't much of the pie to be split amongst the other players. Great win for him. So congrats. That's another title under his belt as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I was done with that tournament weeks ago. Probably before the tournament.
Okay. You want to move on to CBS Sports Deal?
Yeah, we kind of knew that there was going to be other networks picking up bowling. I mean, we talked about it before the CBS announcement. But in case anybody has been living under a bowling rock the last week, I guess CBS and CBS Sports or entities of CBS picked up I believe it was about 30 hours of bowling coverage for 2026.
Yep.
When the previous year or 2025, this year, they had about 8 hours of coverage. So it's definitely.
Yeah, well, right now they only do the tour finals, right? That's it. And that's this weekend, 7th and 8th. By the way, Sweep the Rack will be in the building at the tour finals. I will be there, at least for Saturday and part of Sunday.
Oh, sorry, Nico. I said 30. It's 31. So
right.
Appreciate the correction.
So the tour finals is the only thing that's on CBS Sports Network right now. So this is basically going to be the PBA. From what I read, the PBA Tour Finals is going to be redone into something different. It's going to be the Commissioner's Cup or something. Is that what they're calling it? I think
something in that nature.
Okay. So it's going to be open to everyone. It's going to be like an end of the season event, right? And then they're also going to have the World Series of Bowling basically airing on CBS Sports. So CBS Sports is going to be World Series of Bowling and the final event of the season, the Commissioner's Cup.
The World Championship too will be part of the World
Championship, right? And then everything else likely that's going to be on TV will be on CW.
Yeah.
Right? So, as always, there's good and bad here, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, at this point, you're piecing together a tour, right? And look, you have two like pretty big networks picking up live bowling, right? Like you have CW, which is pretty common across households, right? It's not really an obscure network, and you don't need to pay a streaming service to watch CW, right? Which is a good thing. And then CBS, the main CBS is cool to see them having a show on big CBS. I think that's pretty cool. CBS Sports, on the other hand, I'm not really thrilled about CBS Sports because I know a lot of people don't get CBS Sports. And that's one of the issues, I think, with that, just because you want to see it across. But ultimately, we even talked about before any of this happened when we were speculating about the Fox deal not being renewed, like live bowling not even being on TV, right? We were talking about, is it going to be dead? We even set odds if the PBA Tour was going under. It was all kinds of off-the-rail conversations we were having. So, look, at this point, 10 shows with CW, right? And then you have ultimately 31 more hours of television. And think every show is almost 2 hours, right, Mike?
Right.
So, depending on how they do it, that's a lot more shows that CBS is going to be airing. So I think
you just hit the nail on the head with that comment. And the real question is depending on how they do it. Right? Depending on how they do it. Okay? What's the listen, there's not enough information still to have an opinion on this.
Still not. We don't know the money.
I can't tell you whether it's good, bad, indifferent. I can't tell you yet. There's not enough information. Rob, you're right. It depends what they decide to do with the 31 hours. What are we going to do with it? Right? That's the big question. What does it look like as a final product? When is it? What are the times? How much are we bowling for? What events is it? So a lot of questions here. We won't know what this is going to look like until probably, I'm thinking, in the fall at some point, right?
Did I also see something that there's a chance that their bowling's going to be competing against football? I mean, there's a chance that could happen.
Oh, honestly, I'll be surprised if that's not the case. To me, why else do these networks want to pick up something like bowling? So that they can have something to air, while football's going on. I mean, we've been in this position before with ESPN. ESPN used to run Sunday Countdown right up to the PBA show, and they'd be like, "Oh, stick around for some PBA bowling from Indianapolis. Yeah, everybody want to go bowling?" Yeah, and then as they cut, they'd be like, "Ha ha 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 ha!" As everyone switches the channel to Fox or CBS for football. I mean, so we've been there before. I'm sorry that I'm jaded and I feel this way, but we've been here before.
It's so true, though. Let me ask a question here because I've seen some chatter about this online. I want to pull this comment up from Robert Hamilton. What's up, Robert? He's talking about how this means Dave Ryan and Randy back in the booth, 60 feet to success. Now, I'm going to bring this question to you. Is this an opportunity?
60 feet to jumping out the window? 60 feet from jumping out the window.
60 feet from the window to the floor.
Yeah.
Is this an opportunity, do you think, that the PBA needs to take to maybe think about replacing and putting some new play-by-play announcers in the booth? Do you think that there is a exhaustion?
I don't care. That's not going to move the needle. It's not going to change anything.
Okay.
I don't care about it. Don't care.
Okay.
No one
I was
cares.
wondering because I'm not sure at this point, but it seems like there's a little bit of announcer exhaustion, specifically probably with Randy because he's been in the booth for so long. And I don't know, there's a part of me that you want to change it up a little bit, put some juice into the shows. Maybe you think about getting someone new in there, get some new blood. I don't know. Like, I like Randy in the booth. I think he brings a lot of good commentary and a lot of good analysis for a high level bowler like myself watching it. But sometimes I do think he has the tendency to talk over the bowlers' heads in a way, right? Where he uses a lot of terminology that a lot of casual bowling fans wouldn't understand, and a lot of the same jokes. It's a lot of the same stuff, right? So I don't know. Sometimes I think the PBA might do better with maybe bringing in someone younger, someone who won't talk over a lot of their heads, and didn't have a lot of the same like jokes and same stuff. So
you're making me laugh because, like, honestly, you could bring Randy Macho Man Savage and Rowdy Piper into the PBA booth, and I don't think anyone would even blink an eye or notice. Okay, like, that's where we're at. Yeah, it just doesn't matter to me. It's just completely irrelevant. Do I think they can make changes? Yeah, if they want, do whatever, But here's what I'm going to say. Whoever's in there, if we're able to bet even next year, who knows what all this is going to look like? Who knows if this is going to be tape shows, live shows? We don't know any of this yet, okay? If we're able to bet next year, whoever's in the booth, please talk about betting a lot. Please let people know, hey, you can bet on this. Because, like, if somebody catches a clip on YouTube and they hear, oh, you can bet on this, maybe that leads people to check it out. Maybe that leads people to get involved and start following it and saying, oh, maybe this is something
But doesn't that direction have to come from like the PBA or the higher ups to let the announcers know?
Probably, yeah.
I was just saying, like, I don't think I would assume that they might get in trouble for mentioning odds and stuff if that wasn't like a clear direction to them.
Oh, Charlie Tapp saying bring Bo Burton back. I mean, listen, Tapper, I'm all for nostalgia. You know this. We talk. I'm a historian of the game, but, bro, no, sorry.
I mean, maybe for like a special
I think
TV
he's kidding.
show.
I think he's kidding, too, because he said,
hey, I'd be cool with like one show, bringing him back for one show.
You know who I would love? If we could bring – this is a great question. If we could bring anybody back, dead or alive, to be in the PBA booth for next season, who would you bring? I could tell you right off the bat who it would be for me. It would be Earl Anthony. Okay?
Oh, he was good. Yeah, Earl was.
And I'm going to tell you why. And for those of you that are not aware of this, just go and watch and go on a little YouTube journey. You'll thank me later. Go watch any World Team Challenge show that Earl Anthony is the commentator for. Okay? I promise you, if you watch the whole thing, there will be at least 2 or 3 lines that he will give that will make you laugh out loud. Okay? Where he is basically saying, man, this guy stinks. But he's saying it in such a nice, polite, politically correct way. And that's probably that's what you need. You need somebody who's going to like entertain the people by almost. I don't want to cross the line and say making fun of, but perhaps pointing out some of the more critical things that the players do.
Could it be someone who's never done commentary? It could just be a bowler or
anybody you want.
Okay, if you guys don't know who Anthony Lacaz is.
Oh my God, that's a great answer.
Anthony Lacaz, he's won a national tour title. You can look him up on YouTube. He bowled Saginaw Valley. Good friends with Anthony Lacaz. Was in his wedding party. Bill was his best man.
That would be great.
And if anybody wants to go back and research Belmonte doing a live tweeting session on a road trip with Anthony Lacaz, it might have been probably the funniest tweets that Belmo has ever put out, because what Belmo was doing is Belmo was tweeting what Tony was saying, and Tony might be one of the funniest people you've ever like talked to, and him in the booth would have been absolutely hilarious. So if anybody in the chat knows Tony personally, I think they would agree with that. It's a really out of the box answer, but it was the first person that I thought of that I would want to give a microphone to.
That's great. But yeah, listen, as far as the deal and all that, as I said, too early for me to comment. I hope things go really well. I hope it looks as good as we could all hope for. But yeah, we have to see. Only time is going to tell. Only more information is going to tell here.
Adam, what's up, man? How's things? Adam writes in the chat that he also liked Earl Anthony with Jay Randolph during the NBC Sports Days regarding the PBA Tour. Some old school right there.
No doubt. All right, Rob, are we ready to wrap it up for the people here? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here within an hour today, I think, right?
Yeah, no
Holy
doubt.
moly. All right, let's do it.
All right, Ged, you can go first, Rob.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen because this is going to a TikTok account. TikTok is my new favorite worst of the week gold mine. And obviously people were seeing the videos that I was sharing for the one dude. That's not me not giving him worst of the week. Everyone already knows about this guy. But I need to talk about our TikTok account with Big Easy Bets. Okay. Big Easy Bets. You won worst of the week. I'm going to share the screen here, and I'm going to turn the audio on. Let me know if you hear it.
No.
You guys can't hear it?
No.
Okay, figures. Let me try something else here. This kid, they actually messaged me after. Sorry, let me just get my audio straight here. Oh, Mike, why is it always so difficult? To share a tab instead. Okay. All right, this should do it. Okay. Can you guys hear that now?
Is bowling the sport of all time, or are we just naturals?
Okay. Ready? Big Easy Bets.
Bowling the easiest sport of all time. Because we've bowled probably once a week for the last 3 to 4 weeks. We'll call it 3, maybe 4 times. Before that, I've never consistently bowled in my life. We would bowl straight like pretty much everybody. Over the course of the last month, we bowled once a week. And we decided that we were going to try to put spin on the ball. Bowling might be the easiest sport of all time. And I don't say that lightly. So I need the purists and the diehard bowlers to let me know if I'm wrong here. Because today I set my personal best of 223, and then you followed right behind and bowled a 256, bowled 8 consecutive strikes, only had 1 open frame, and we think may have set the record at the bowling alley. The guy said, I don't think anybody's bowled higher than that. I said, we just started bowling 2 weeks ago. You bowled with a house ball.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a legitimate question. Is bowling the easiest sport of all time, or are we just naturals?
Yeah, we're still learning.
Yeah, I don't know what the I'm doing. I'm just throwing the ball at the pins, knocking them all down. Yeah, I don't think bowling's hard. I could be wrong. And if somebody's listening and they're a diehard bowler and they're great at bowling, challenge us. We'll film it.
Yo,
we'll go play
we need to challenge these dudes right now.
You can do whatever stakes you want.
I'm throwing down Big Easy Bets. Challenge.
Well, so I responded, and thanks to Kevin for tagging me on TikTok. But I responded, and he direct messaged me. My response to him on that TikTok was like, I first wrote, "This is exactly what's wrong with the sport in the industry." That's what my comment was, and then I explained to him I wanted to educate before I came at them, because these are casual bowlers. These are bowlers you actually want involved in the sport. You want them to continue to bowl. You want them to continue to learn. And it doesn't help the sport when people are just on their case because there's a lack of education in the sport on what's easy and what's hard. And then, so these guys who normally do betting for like sports in like the Southeast, like New Orleans, right? They're a betting podcast, right? Probably right up our alley, I would imagine, these guys, right? Like what they do in their content, whatever. they just didn't understand of what like the difference between bowling on a house and sport. And I tried to give them an example or idea, and I was talking to them. But they were really cool, man. He messaged me. He's like, "Look, I wasn't trying to like crap on the sport of bowling." And he was actually really cool. And I was like, "No doubt, man. I'm just making sure you guys are aware that." Yes, you're not wrong in your take, being that bowling is an easy sport because what you're bowling on is easy. So I'm not gonna like say you're wrong, but if you were to bowl on something other than what is out at your local center, like if you were to bowl on any type of pattern, it didn't to me. It didn't matter what pattern it was. You guys wouldn't probably break 150, and I would bet on it in a sense. So. They were cool. They responded. I could message him, Mike. I don't think me and you are flying to New Orleans anytime soon to bowl these guys. If they were maybe living in the East Coast, I might take a trip and we could collaborate and just absolutely wreck these fools. But they were cool. And I mean, worst of the week, though. And yeah, Kevin's right. They did do a follow-up video. I should find it maybe do it next week on air, and they did double down on the take, and I didn't see that video, and maybe I'm hoping they would mention the podcast to be like, these guys reached out and they kind of explained to us and try to at least educate the people who listen to them, because now you got all these people that are watching this video. I think had like 11 or 12,000 views. Like there's 11,000 people out there now thinking bowling is the easiest sport, Mike.
Well, it is. It is. They're right in a sense, right?
Yeah, right.
Because we've made them so easy that even these dopes can, shoot 250 and think that they're great, right? Because that's how easy we've made them. And it makes me think of this, Rob. Like, and I don't know, maybe I'm going to lose people here, but I'm going to go with it. Like, the coolest thing for me when I was like a non-bowler and I just started out bowling, the coolest thing for me about watching other skilled bowlers bowl, the coolest thing about watching other skilled bowlers bowl was that they could hook the ball. They could hook the ball, man. They hook the ball. Look at what they do with the ball. The ball hooks, and look at how much differently their ball looks when it hits the pins than my ball, and and like you had to work to get to that point, right? It just didn't. It didn't just come. It didn't just come. And now we're at a point in this game where, like, in order to hook the ball, all you got to do is go to the ball pro shop, buy a ball, and go out on the lanes. You're going to be able to hook the ball right away. Right away. And then from there, it becomes pretty easy to, navigate how to control that hook with the way they have the lane set up. And so, yeah,
here's the thing, though.
We have allowed it. We have allowed this.
Mike, here's the thing, though. This is exactly a perfect scenario where you mentioned a while back that the bowling alleys need to come up with a way to show these people that are bowling casually once a week or once every few months that they're essentially bowling on like easy level. Remember you had that idea where like maybe like if it was green, it was easy, yellow, like lights or something, or I don't know. There needs to be some type of education to casual people bowling to make them realize that what they're bowling on is in a sense the easy level of bowling. And if you want to get better, there are other type of situations that or patterns you could bowl on, or oil. And a lot of people don't understand the oil and how it's laid out. I can't tell you how many times at work I've explained to my coworkers who don't bowl how oil plays in like a crazy part in the game of bowling, and how machines oil and the patterns. And I'm sure everybody in this chat who's listening, I'm sure you, Mike, have had the same conversations with people who don't know about bowling and they're interested in it. I've had that multiple conversations when I worked in the pro shop as well, because you'd be surprised how many people come in to drill a ball bag and shoes. There's like the package or beginner's package, and that had any idea of like actual what happens on a scientific, in a way, right, level of the game.
No doubt. Okay. I'm going to get to my worst of the week here. It's going to be quick. You'll all get it. My worst of the week comes from none other than the Evil Empire.
Ooh. Oh, Storm.
Ooh, Storm Bowling Facebook page. Here we go. I'm just going to read it. There's a picture that accompanies it, but I'm not even going to describe it. It's not worth describing. I'm just going to read the post. Here we go. Make a statement on and off the lanes with the new Storm Premium Leather Belt. Performance, style, and Storm Nation pride in every detail. Do we really need Storm Nation Evil Empire belts? Do we really need this? Do we really need the Patch Pirates walking around with the Storm belt as well?
Performance, though. I like
how many pins does the performance belt add?
I'm sure a few. I'm sure quite a few. Is the belt scented? Does it come in different scents?
Oh, I mean, Adam Miller's in the chat saying he needs him one of those belts. I hear it's going to be the hottest item of the Patch Pirate fashion season.
I heard the belt is longer and stronger, by the way, than the normal belts. Oh, Lord. What are we doing here? All right, Mike, you ready to wrap us up?
Let's do it. Final thoughts. My final thought is PBA Tour Finals this weekend. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Steel City Bowls and Brews. I had a wonderful time there last year. I thought that they did an amazing job with this event. I think it sounds like they're going to do an even better job this year. I believe I'm headed out there on Saturday unless my plans change with the wife, sans the kids, starting at the casino. Going to make a night of it.
Nice.
Bowling.
Are you going to tailgate?
Well, that I'm not sure of because we have a birthday party we got to attend in the Philly area before we head up there. So it depends what time I get the kids dropped off at my mom's and how early I can roll up there. So I might not be at the tailgate, but I will very likely be there Saturday for the bowling. I will somewhat likely be there for the bowling on Sunday, depending on the timing of all that. And it ends late Sunday night. Like, I think the last show starts at 9 o'clock. So it's not going to be over till like 11 p.m., I don't think, on Sunday night. So that's a little brutal. So I don't envision myself sticking around for all that because, I'm going to have to pick the kids up at my mom's and roll home and yada, yada, yada. But, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's a cool event. You know, it's a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere, I would say. You know, last year some of the players hung out, and there were a lot of cool people there that really seemed to enjoy the event. It seemed like the Bethlehem area and what the folks from Steel City have built up there, very similar to Bayside, like really embraced the tour being there, which is awesome to see. And listen, anytime I can get away, get out with the wife, bowling, no bowling, whatever, I'm always looking forward to that. So
cool. Well, my final thoughts is I'm sure Nico will be happy because I've been waiting till my final thoughts to mention the PWBA, which I've actually been able to catch a decent amount this last couple days. My brother, obviously was staying with me for a few days, and he loves watching bowling, and we watched a decent amount of it. So real quick, just to go over some of the quick results. Yesterday, Heath Wen New won, and it was the PWBA Bowl TV Open, beat Cherry Tan. So it was like an Asian final. Those girls are good. Those Asian girls are good, Mike. Kelly made 2 shows in a row. Good to see that. She had some really, really tough performances on the show, Mike. First time in my life that I saw Kelly miss a single pin spare. She actually missed 2 7-pins in that match, Mike.
Wow.
Here's what I love about Kelly. After she lost, she bowled terrible. She bowled I think she bowled even I don't know, Nico will correct me, but I think she bowled 130 the previous day on the show, right? She bowled terrible, right? She bowls last night, back-to-back shows. She misses 2 7-pins. She loses. What does she do? She gets on a pair all the way down at the end of the center and starts practicing. And they showed her during a match, like Kelly's like literally practicing. And here I am. Dude, I'd have been so far out of that bowling alley. Like, I would have been like literally already down the highway. Like my stuff would have been so quick in the car and I'd have been so far out of there after 2 really bad performances. But I don't know. That was an interesting tidbit, Mike, that I saw that. I mean, you got to respect that. The OG, right, Kelly doing that. Not happy with her performance. Stephanie Zavala won the PWBA Cleveland Open. This is all going on in Parma Heights, Ohio, by the way. They ran it was like a little mini World Series, it looked like. Okay. And then the Queens that finished on the 20th, we obviously haven't been on in 2 weeks. Josie Barnes beat Sinley Jane, who Sinley Jane is still like making shows, and she's just incredible how great she is, and she's just been so great. And then those were the tournaments that had results that I was able to see. The PWBA is in full swing. Take the shows for what they're worth. It's a good bowling competition. They're a little bit boring on the entertainment side of it, but for the competitive bowling, it's
shocking.
It's fun to watch as a bowler to see what's going on with the moves and the adjustments and the reactions. But on an entertainment factor, it's sometimes you just like, man, like there is just no energy in these shows. It feels like the crowds are super small watching. They're just, even the tour reps they show sometimes in the back there watching look completely uninterested too. Yeah. Exactly. 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 I almost text Gottschall. I almost did and was like, yo, Gottschall, like you look completely like checked out right now, sitting there. They're probably so tired, literally like from all the traveling and being in a bowling center or whatnot. But so yeah, good to see the PWBA though.
All right, no doubt. Rob, we'll likely be back next week for the people, I would imagine. Everybody check out our T-shirts, check out our merch, InsideBowling.com. Content creators, check us out.
Right.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube page here. If you caught this late, we are driving all of our regular traffic to YouTube, so be aware of that. Feel free to reach out to us with an email, sweeptherack@gmail.com. It's where we're at. We love getting the emails. I'm sure I'll run into some people this weekend at the tour finals. Don't hesitate to come up, say what's up. Love to chop it up. Love to talk to the folks and see what's good. And Rob will be back with the people next week.
We will. Take care. See you guys.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.